Coming up on this edition of Inside Bellingham, we're going to find out about creating a new photography exhibit for the Whatcom Museum with Scott Wallin. Kim Spence is going to give us an inside view of the amazing Sportsplex. And if you've been thinking about saving money by commuting to your workplace on your bike, we've got some great cycling tips for you. All this and more, plenty more, on Inside Bellingham. Hi, welcome to Inside Bellingham. I'm Doug Waldo. If you're athletically inclined, or your kids are, you're probably familiar with this building, the Bellingham Sportsplex. To skate or not to skate? That is the question. We'll find out more about the Sportsplex and what Kim Spence is up to later in the show. This is the soccer field inside the Sportsplex, and kids and adults play here. The Whatcom Museum's newest exhibit is entitled Contrasting Objectives, 15 Pacific Northwest Photographers. It's a free exhibition where the museum's visitors can discover the interesting diversity of techniques used by photographers to view places and tell stories. And what viewers won't see is the work that goes into putting an idea-provoking exhibit like this together. So, we thought it would be fun to visit with Scott Wallin, the museum's exhibition director, to see what magic he uses to convert one exhibit into another.
Well, this is the finale. This is the what it's all about. All the work the last 2 years, especially the last 2 late nights. All of the works are on the wall. This is sort of the glory of the glory time for the process.
The motorcycle exhibit was de-installed. That is, the material, the motorcycles moved out, and all the walls and pedestals and platforms are demolished and removed. Most of that material is recycled. In this case, I think a lot of material went to the restore, the building materials. And then we have as clear a space as we ever have in this particular gallery. The primary goal, in my opinion, is to tell a story. So any part of the museum that we are working with, visitor comes to see, either very overtly or subtly, that's what's going on. So the story here is about what's happening in contemporary regional photography in the Pacific Northwest. In this case, the design of the space for the next exhibit happens as the curating is happening. I know how many square feet, I know what my subject is, so the space is divided up very symmetrically, but it's church-like in that it has sort of alcoves, and it has narthex, crosses in the middle. From outside in the lobby, and especially when you come into the gallery, you can see clear to the other end. So you're drawn in. But as you come into the space, you could stop and read and see any of the walls on the way, or you could go off to the side. Really, all of the work that goes into it has 2 payoffs for me. The psychological, theatrical mechanism of installing the exhibit. The second thing is obviously the reaction of the visitors. That should be your end concern. It isn't always the case with an exhibit, Maybe done for ego, political reasons, lots of reasons to do an exhibit, make money, whatever. But to me, the reason is the interaction, the participation of the visitors, the viewers, what they take away. I'd like visitors to, number one, come away with a hopefully enhanced appreciation of the Whatcom Museum itself and the service it does, education, entertainment wise, for a wide variety of people in the community.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
On every Inside Bellingham, we take a question that we've received from our viewers, like you, and pose it to the person in the city who can best answer it. Now, the question this time is, selected at random from the thousands that we get every month, okay, maybe not thousands, is, does the Bellingham Fire Department fight fires outside the city limits? And if so, why? We took that question to Bellingham Fire Chief Bill Boyd.
The City of Bellingham participates in an interlocal agreement with all Whatcom County fire agencies to provide mutual aid assistance in the event of an incident or a number of incidents that overwhelm the available resources of the particular department or fire agency to handle on their own. Historically, the Bellingham Fire Department has assisted county fire agencies on an average of 10 to 20 times per year in fighting structure fires, helping in rescue situations, or other special events whereby the district needs additional resources and assistance. That is a different arrangement, however, than what we provide through the Bellingham Fire Department in the Whatcom Medic 1 program. We do provide county-wide paramedic response throughout Whatcom County on a first response basis. But the fire response and technical rescue programs through the Bellingham Fire Department are provided to fire districts outside the city of Bellingham only upon specific request.
Do you have a question about city services or policies? You can send those questions to us in an email at btv10@cob.org. Every year, the city builds and maintains dozens of capital projects. Now, some are big, visible, new facilities like a building or a bridge, and others are less visible, but still important, like building a new water tank or replacing sewer lines. Now, we build these projects to enhance the health, safety, and livability of our community, and to protect the public's investments by fixing things that wear out. And we know that some of these projects may impact on your neighborhood, and we do our best to keep you informed and minimize those impacts.
We're today at the Kearney Road Reservoir, which is in the process of being built, almost completed. We have a whole series of reservoirs around, and as a matter of fact, there'll be even more reservoirs put in to keep up with the City of Bellingham's growth. This particular one is going to be the fourth largest in City of Bellingham, and will serve about 10,000 families. Basically, a reservoir does three things. It provides standby storage, equalizing storage, and fire flow storage. Equalizing storage allows us to use more water in the morning, for example, and less in the middle of the day. Standby storage is in case the system itself goes down. We have to maintain the water lines, and when we shut down a water line for maintenance, the tank takes up that slack. And finally, there's fire flow storage. In the situation where we have to take a lot of water quickly to fight a fire, we want to have that water available. This particular one will serve the Chordata area, which we all know is growing, as well as the King Mountain area, which is also growing. Well, the tank you see behind me is doing very well. We're both on time and on budget with that project. This is a project that from scratch in an undeveloped area, so those tanks have the tendency to be a little bit more simple to do. On Sunset, we're running a little bit behind on schedule, although we're just about on for budget because we had to put our water lines in an existing street, as well as right next to Western Washington when it was starting up for the school year, and that's always a challenge.
The roundabout, it's really kind of a recent fad. They have a number of advantages to them. One, very few cars are stopped and waiting, so everybody's entering the intersection at the same time. There are fewer conflicting movements than would be in a traditional intersection. Here, everybody's traveling in the same direction. Also, pedestrian movement through the roundabout is very highlighted and regulated so that they're in a very strict pattern. The Chordata Westerly roundabout construction brings to a completion the corridor improvements for Chordata Parkway. When you drive through the roundabout or by it, you can easily recognize the changes to the pavement and to the traffic flow. What many people won't see are some other improvements. They include a 125,000-gallon stormwater vault and a 4-cartridge stormwater treatment vault. In tandem, these two vaults meet the Department of Ecology stormwater requirements. The roundabout will also receive a finishing touch in the next week or so. It's a decorative gate crafted by a local artist at Bellingham Technical College. Substantial completion of the project was 2 weeks earlier than anticipated. Overall construction took 5 months, and the project is on budget. There are going to be more roundabouts coming to our community, and so if you want to come out and see how they operate, you can come out and drive the roundabouts and learn how to use them.
Depot Market Square project is, as I said, currently underway. They've had a lot of rain, and they've had to deal with stormwater and how it leaves the site safely, and also the complexity of reusing bridge steel. And so for those two reasons, we think that the Depot Markets project is running about a month behind. However, we do anticipate no problem with the farmers market getting started with their season the first Saturday in April 2006. We see all kinds of potential for events that could take place in the pavilion, from car shows, weddings, flea markets. But I think, our partnership with the farmers market is most important. It's going to enable them to extend their season into the winter months. I hear they're planning on extending their season through December. Yeah, I think it really says a lot for the cooperation of all the different folks that have worked on this project.
Nestled in the city's Civic Center between Joe Martin Baseball Field and Civic Stadium is the Sportsplex. It's an 80,000 square foot facility that's home to an unexpected range of activities like soccer, figure skating, and something called stick and puck. The Sportsplex is also an innovative example of a public-private partnership in action. The city owns the land and the building, while the Whatcom Sports Commission owns and operates the business located here. Kim Spence is here somewhere. She's going to show us around.
Hey, good job. Now remember, when we come in and strike that ball, the key thing is that we come in, get our plant foot far enough away that we can get our leg extended, keep our heel behind us, and snap down at the knee.
In a climate like ours, people want indoor recreational opportunities year-round. For 2,000 people a day, the Sportsplex, with its ice rink, soccer fields, and batting cage, is a destination of choice. What are the variety of activities here?
We've got figure skating, hockey, speed skating, soccer, the batting cage. We also have clubs that use the facility. We also have teams that are part of the Sportsplex.
What are the kind of activities that you can just drop in on?
We have stick and puck, where they come in and just work on their stick handling abilities on the ice. We have drop-in soccer, as well as drop-in hockey.
Wow, you have a lot of things going on here. So describe all the facilities you have here at the complex.
We have 3 rinks. We have an ice rink and then 2 soccer fields that we use, as well as a batting cage. We have a soccer field that is 185 by 85 feet. That's used by the adult soccer as well as the middle school and high school age group kids. We also have a little rink soccer that is 160 by 60 feet, and that's for the U12 down to the U6 kids. And then also our batting cage that is used by adults and youth alike. The ice rink is a full-size NHL rink, and we keep the ice in year-round. We take it out for about 2 weeks every July for maintenance, but outside of that, the ice is in all the time. Soccer facility obviously is open year-round as well.
Tell us a little bit about the partnership with the city.
Basically, without their help, we couldn't have gotten the facility and been able to run the programs we do and give the people of Whatcom County access to the indoor facility here.
My name's Stacy Pratchner, and I've been skating here for almost a year now. I enjoy figure skating most of all. I started out with public lessons, and then that was a great way to get introduced back into skating again, skating with other people my age in the adult classes. And then as I progressed, I decided to go ahead and get a private coach to further my skating a little bit faster. Yeah, I love it. It's a great way to meet new people and just a physical activity to keep you in shape and a challenge to put for yourself.
Do you skate year-round as an activity?
Yes, absolutely, year-round. And we have shows and competitions year-round, so got to keep in shape and ready to go. The Sportsplex is absolutely open arms to every level, every age of skater, whether you've never put on a pair of skates or whether you've been skating for 20 years. There's a session and an opportunity for you.
Doesn't this place look like fun? Why not come by and try it? For more information about schedule and activities, stop by or call the Sportsplex or check out the website.
As the costs of owning and driving a car increase, along with our mounting concerns about the environmental impacts of vehicles on the planet, we see more and more cyclists on the road. Many folks are heading to and from school, workplaces, community events on bicycles. This can be challenging here in the Northwest, where our December, January, February daylight hours are so limited that we end up commuting in winter darkness. A city employee and bicycle commuter, Kim Brown, has some ideas for everyone on the road that can help make cycling safer.
In order for cyclists to stay safe out on the road, it's important that they have a well-maintained bike, proper equipment such as clothing and lighting, and that they understand the rules of the road. We've asked Officer Tara Fleetwood with the Bellingham Police Department to talk to us about what cyclists need to do to stay safe on the road.
Well, one of the most important things they need to remember is that when they're operating on a roadway, they need to follow all the rules of the road, and all those rules apply to bicyclists the same as they do to motor vehicles. Especially this time of year, due to the weather, there's a lot of increases in road hazards that cyclists may encounter, such as potholes, sticks in the road. It's going to be important for them to ride as predictably as possible so that motorists can anticipate their actions. That's not always going to be the case, but in any opportunity that they have to avoid a hazard and let a driver know that they're moving to avoid a hazard is going to be safer for both them and the driver. When a motorist is trying to make a right-hand turn and there's a cyclist to the right of them, whether there's a bike lane or not, it's the burden of the motorist to yield to the cyclist, allow the cyclist to pass and to then complete their right-hand turn. In order to safely pass a cyclist, you need to use common sense and allow enough room to pass safely. If there's oncoming traffic and that's not safe to do at the time, then you need to slow down, allow the cyclist to continue and not pass until it's safe to do so. The safest thing is going to be for cyclists to stay as far to the right in the lane of travel as is practical. Use the bike lane if there is one there. If not, just to ride as far to the right as they can while maintaining a safe riding style. Cyclists need to obey all traffic signals, all stop signs, yield to pedestrians and crosswalks, and obey all of the rules of the road that fall under Title 46.
Officer Mark Young is with the Bellingham Police Department.
I'm not dressed as a police officer right now because I'm done work and it's time for me to ride home. And before I ride home, I just want to talk to you a little bit about some bicycle safety tips in terms of equipment. And one of the first things that I do is called an ABC check. ABC. A stands for air, and I just want to make sure that the air in my tires are up and running. B stands for brakes, and I want to make sure that both brakes are working, my front and back, and make sure that I have good stopping power. And C will stand for chain. I want to make sure that my chain is lubricated and there's no kinks in it, so I'll just reach down and make sure that I'm locked in and ready to go. So A, B, C. It's a real simple thing to remember. The other thing that you'll notice is I'm dressed in pretty bright clothing. I'm real big on bright clothing, especially this time of the year. You've got low light during the winter months, you've got inclement weather, and you just don't have that ability to see in distances. And I think the brighter the clothing, the better. It's really important also this time of year to have good lighting. The law requires you at night to have a light in the front, and it can be battery operated. Whether or not you have a battery pack or the batteries contained in the light, it's up to you. But you are required to have a light in front, and you're also required to have a reflective material in the back, reflective red to the rear. Now, again, it's your choice if you want it lit or not, and I prefer that it is lit, and there's a variety of different styles for that on the market. I prefer the flashing lights because it really does give the motorist an opportunity to see you coming. And also, if you notice on the top of my helmet, this is a little small battery operated helmet light, and I like using this at night when I'm riding because as I turn my head I can light up areas in front of me to see where I'm going. So those are just a couple of little tips for you to help keep you safe and let those motorists out there know that you're there sharing that road with them. So safe commuting.
If you have a bicycle safety concern, give me a call at 676-6961. If you'd like more information about bike laws or the rules of the road, visit the city's website.
All successful organizations, large or small, have visible staff who get most of the attention and glory associated with achieving their agency's mission. But behind every successful department, there are essential folks in the background who support and provide services that often go unnoticed by the general public. Karen Flaherty and the entire records section of the Bellingham Police Department carry out a remarkable support role for the men and women who protect public safety and fight crime in our city.
This is the Bellingham Police Records Bureau. This is a 24/7 police operation that provides services to the officers of our police department as well as to the law enforcement community in general. We also provide services to the public. One of the services that we provide to the public is a police conviction background check. Last year, the Police Records Bureau performed over 1,300 background checks for the public. And anyone can come into our office at the business reception area and provide a name and date of birth and ask for a conviction check on someone. Now, this could be someone that they're going to employ as a babysitter, for example. If the person is over 18 years of age, we can do that for them. We do all of the backgrounds for concealed pistol licenses for citizens of Bellingham. We also provide extensive background and research for gun purchases that are done here in our jurisdiction as well. Last year we performed over 500 backgrounds on gun applicants in this area, and we actually found criminal history and or protection orders or warrants that precluded 8 individuals from actually getting guns in their hands. This office is responsible for being that front line to ensuring that the wrong people don't get guns into their hands, and we take that role very seriously. But our primary objective here is to provide our officers with timely, accurate data so that they can do their jobs most effectively out on the line. The types of requests that come in from our officer community would relate to criminal history information on suspects that they might be pursuing. Some of the requests that they also take care of would be to compile mugshot photo lineups so that officers can show them to a victim or witness to hopefully get an arrest in an incident. We also provide services to some of our state agencies, such as Child Protective Services and Adult Protective Services. The specialists who are employed at the police department have to have extensive experience in a clerical setting. But this is not just your average clerical role. Those kinds of things that they have to be trained in include becoming familiar and expert at over 9 different databases from which they need to enter information as well as gather information. Some of those databases connect these employees to every state in our nation as well as through Interpol and other countries. What I like about this job is the fact that on a daily basis I get to work with some wonderful people, and we all appreciate the fact that we are doing a service for our community. You know, we're not out on the street like the officers are, but we are behind the scenes. We are considered the backbone of the organization in terms of providing accurate and timely information. This is my place. This is my home.
Need funding for a neighborhood project? The city's Small and Simple Project Fund can provide up to $2,500 to selected organizations to complete projects that benefit the entire community. Now, past grants have supported projects like downtown special events, neighborhood tree plantings, holiday festivals, art exhibitions, music performances, and more. The city is accepting applications for these grants right now. More information is available at the city's website at www.cob.org. Now, don't wait, though. Applications will only be accepted until February 24th. That's our show for February. This edition of Inside Bellingham will air several times each week throughout this month. So, you can watch us time and time again. If you have feedback or ideas, we'd like to hear from you. You can reach us through the BTV10 website, which is also a great place to find out more about Inside Bellingham and other BTV10 programs. I'm Doug Waldo. For all of us here at the City of Bellingham, thanks for watching.